you let go of the attachment to the outcome, what happens? This is Hawk from Help a Hawk Healing, where we're freeing human hearts. In the description below, you will find a link to the rules of the mind, which will augment what we're learning here. You'll also find a link to an article of 101 questions to ask yourself to have a greater understanding of where you're going in life. And anytime I say anything that resonates with you, just touch your heart. So letting go, what does it mean? If I'm hanging over a cliff and I let go of the rope, I fall. Well, that kind of sucks. But also, if I'm working in my shadow, what does it mean to let go? Well, it could mean that I just let go of anything that no longer serves me. The main thing is not to let go of parts of us so much as to let go of our emotional attachment to those parts. So we have to start learning how to realize what we're attached to. And we make all of these agreements. It's incredible how many agreements you'll find out you've made, especially if you were to read the book, The 5 Agreements, by Don Jose and Miguel Ruiz. We make agreements with everybody all the time, and it's not necessarily a spoken agreement. In fact, the media uses our agreement by interacting with it in order to accept our agreement that what they're giving us is what we want, whether we want it or not. When I was drowning in my addictions, my shadow was wreaking havoc on my body, and my mind, my relationships, and I knew I should let go, but the fear of losing who I was projecting was greater than what I wanted to be at the time. It was greater than who I felt I was, or who I felt I was deserving of being. I projected that I was a heavy drug user and did all kinds of tripping and all this stuff so that who I was could be more acceptable to everybody else. Not realizing that I shouldn't care what they thought of me. I should just be me. And if they didn't like it, oh well, who cares? See, the Nazarene taught us to concern ourselves with removing the beam in our own eye before even considering the mote in another's. That's a very important thing, because a lot of people will say, focus on Jesus. No, focus on what Jesus taught, which is to seek ye first the kingdom of God, because the kingdom of God is within you. And he taught this. When I work on my goals, I want to achieve the outcome I desire. However, I often find that continuing to work on them without attaching to a specific outcome, I achieve even greater success than I envisioned. This channel is one of them. Just my presentation style has become so much different since I let go of who I wanted to project who I was. Now, there's still an element of projection. There will always be an element of projection. We can't get away from the element of projection. Everything is light. Everything is energy, so it projects and reflects. However, when we let go of who we're projecting, I'm this badass boy, I'm this, that, the other, I'm a real man because, I'm a real woman because, whatever. Stop worrying about the definition of who you are and just be. By allowing myself to make mistakes and fail, I have had learning experiences that taught me not only how not to do things, but also they taught me what I didn't want and who I didn't want to be. By letting go of who I thought I should be, by letting go of even who I thought I was, it became a much more rich environment for me to exist in. And it can for you too. It's an incredible thing to let go. When you meet somebody, you want to be with them, you become attached to them, and sometimes we end up having to let go of them. Oftentimes we end up having to let go of them. Then what happens? We're letting go of a part of ourselves, is the way we see it and the way we feel it. However, if we just accept that person as they are, maybe we don't have to let go of anything. By letting go of the outcome I want, I'm more able to focus on the next step instead of the next 10 or 10,000 steps. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So if I'm only concentrating on the next step, who knows? As long as I'm keeping in alignment with where I'm wanting to go, then the next step and the next step and the next step, as long as I'm just concentrating on the next step and let go of the end of it, I found out that I'm farther along than I ever thought I was. It really is freeing when you let go. Let go of the attachment, let go of all attachments, even to your children. And it sounds hard, but you have to let go of the attachment to your children because of the simple fact that you must guide them, but accept them as they are and allow them to decide what they want to do. And that's hard. Believe me, I see what potential my sons have. I still have to let go and let them achieve their own potential, achieve what they want to achieve. Whether it's what I would want for them or not, whether it's best for them or not, who am I to determine that? Thank you for pressing the like button. I appreciate it, and so does the algorithm. It helps spread it to more people. So let's continue. By letting go of my emotional attachment to others, I have freed up space for both of us to grow as individuals. And if the other person doesn't keep growing, that's on them. I'm not concerned with other people's growth. Anyone who wants to grow can come to me and I can sit down and work with them as how I have learned. By letting go of my emotional attachment to others and their growth, I have freed up space within me to grow. And I'm kind of attached to my growth. I know that I work towards my goals every day. Like I've said many times here, 1% increase per day is at least 365% increase in a year. And if you have 10 goals and you're getting 1% every day, that's 3,650%. So, where are we going? Well, you're going where you're going, I'm going where I'm going. And we may not even end up there. The people I study after say 50% of your goals should have a 50% chance of failure or greater, or you're not pulling yourself to your potential. I have goals that have a 1% chance of succeeding. Am I severely attached to that goal? No. But am I still working toward that goal? Yes. I haven't let go of the goal. I've let go of the attachment to the end result. It may or may not happen. You know, I may or may not end up meeting my favorite actor. Okay. I certainly can't end up meeting Robin Williams, one of my greatest inspirations. But I can achieve other things. By letting go of an emotional attachment to what others think of me, I'm more complete with no need to project. Or worse yet, take others' responses personally. Their walk is their walk, and they see things how they see things. These two eyes don't even perceive things the same way. These two ears don't perceive things the same way. If these two eyes saw things exactly the same way, we'd only see in one dimension. If these two ears heard in exactly the same way, we would never hear stereo. So we have to work toward letting go of things because even our own body parts don't have the same experiences. And another person can't have your experience anyway, so let go of it. Quit trying to force the square peg in the round hole. And stop doing that with yourself. That's the hardest part, is letting go of where you think you should be. When I let go of other person's opinions, they can't hold me hostage. And I don't hold them hostage emotionally. It's very important that we let go of that, because that allows the other person to have their experience And maybe they are blowing off from their inner 2-year-old, and maybe they are trying to make it personal, but it's something in them that they're not recognizing in them. And take the things they say to heart and have your heart examine them. Are these things true about me? That doesn't mean they are true, but are these things true about me? Is this person's experience the same as everyone else's as far as they're experiencing this from me, or are they projecting an experience from me? Take it to heart. Feel it. Because if you feel it in your heart, it's something that's in your psyche. And like I've said, all these little strands of DNA carry every potential for every human action within them. It doesn't make any difference whether they're mendicant or genius. Every single human DNA contains the possibility, the potential for every human action. So if you let go of the fact that all that exists within you, just accept it and let it go, then you can decide who you want to be and how you want to be, no matter what's going on, no matter who's out there. Thank you for subscribing so that we can continue to learn together. And it also helps that other people can learn too. I may not be the simplest, but I'm certainly not the most complicated, and I appreciate everything we're doing here together. When I held on to what I wanted for others or myself or even the outcomes and goals, I was always disappointed. Now I'm always and yet never surprised at how things are working out for me. And they always work out for me. They always work out for the best. When I look at it in hindsight, everything has worked out to the best because I'm right here, right now, doing what I'm doing. I'm talking to you. So that's the best thing that could be happening in this moment. And if it weren't for everything that went before, working out, I wouldn't be here having this conversation. So I let go, and now this conversation can happen. By letting go, I freed my heart and any others that interact with me, because my heart is free. Now then they can be free to be who they are, and neither one of us has to worry about being held hostage emotionally at all, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Now they may hold me hostage, or attempt to hold me hostage, I should say, to their emotions, but I'm not going to be attached to it. I'm letting go of it. I'm letting my freak flag fly, because that's just who I am. And if you don't like me, then go find somebody else. I don't have to change for your world to be better. I have to change for my world to be better. You have to change for your world to be better. The transformation is to realize we already are who we are. We're already being the best version of ourselves. Now how can we enhance that step by step by step? By letting go of being the best version of ourselves, we automatically are the best version of ourselves. It's actually very simple to let go, but our mind wants to complicate it. That's what makes it so uneasy. It's easier to rest and to have higher quality sleep when you let go of things. And when you realize you're in a mood, look and see if it's full moon or new moon. And then let go of it. Say, okay, my body's in a bad mood because all of the water in it's being affected, all of the energy in it's being affected by gravitational forces. Okay, I'm going to be conscious of this. I'm not going to project this onto others, but I'm letting go of it. I'm not going to try to force myself to be something I'm not. I'm having a bad day. Even the Dalai Lama admits to having bad days. Jesus had bad days. Siddhartha Gautama had bad days. It just happens. This is a human body. We're an infinite spiritual being. The mind is our interaction. And by letting go of attachment to this 40 trillion cells as us, it's a lot easier to live. So until next time, repeat 10,000 times a day. I am enough. I love myself. I am free and unshakable. And know that I love you.